listening to iLive Radio.
Hey, yo, yo. Yes, yes. Yo, you're listening to the A1 show. I'm your host, DJ A1. Streaming exclusively on iLive UK every Tuesday from 7 to 9. You know what's coming now? It's that rubbish intro that I never seem to get right to script it. I don't want to script it. I'm so against that. So against writing it down. Alright, where was I at? Yeah, so the website uk.iliveradio.com. Click on the top right hand corner and press play. Click on the iLive UK to access the stream at any time during the day. You can listen to last week's show or all the other iLive shows. They're recorded and they're put on Spotify, Apple Music, or any other, like podcast outlet thingy, Google Podcasts or wherever you RSS feeds. You know what I'm talking about. Shout out the whole team. We're on all the social media. That is Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Just search at iLive UK. And I need some attention too, man. So shout me. I'm on Instagram, and I like to hear from you guys. So yeah, shout me. I'm at A1_spins. That's AWAN_SPINS. With me. Trying to get these levels right. Yeah, so with me in the studio today, I've been excited for a while. He's one of the guys that when I first started streaming, it was like I definitely have to. He's the perfect guy to have on the show, just purely because of the way he lives his life and how ambitious a man he is. He's a label owner. He's a radio DJ. He's a club DJ. He's a house producer. He's not a house producer. He's not a house producer. I'm learning bits today as well, innit? At night, you might see him flying around the city, saving people, tackling muggers. It's Jamesy D, brother.
Check. There we go.
There we go. My bad. I pressed the wrong button.
We got there in the end.
Yes, my guy. Thank you for coming through, man.
Thank you.
Yes.
Claps to you also.
Thank you very much, man.
And
Thank you very much. Yeah, thanks for the iLive team, man. Yeah, so I met you. I know you from the gym, from Muscleworks.
That's correct.
And I must have met you about. It must have been about 5, maybe even 6 years now,
Yeah.
For a while.
Yeah, I think so.
You've always 6-7 enjoyed watching me get beat up at the gym.
I've been watching you spar a lot and showing people how to spar. I know that much.
And then I've enjoyed watching you do like these backflips and all of that. Your training is serious, You've been serious about training from day.
Yeah, I guess so. I think even back then, I think I was just more circuiting and doing a bit of weightlifting with reps and just going in a lot.
Yeah.
And I think it was just noticed a lot that this guy doesn't mess around.
No, not at all.
So
he's definitely you look like you're serious about training from day, and just the way you look after yourself as well. But I mean, we'll talk more about that. Yeah. Now you're doing like these flips and gymnastics and.
Yeah, I'm into the calisthenics.
That's cool, man.
Let go of the weight.
How did you get into how did you discover that?
I think it's just natural progression, to be honest with you. I think coming from that background of like teaching aerobics and circuits and just using body weight, from there on, I just saw a few of my friends going to the park and I just organically moved into it, and I just thought, I've always been good at pull-ups and push-ups and using my weight like that. So I just thought, right, I just need to get a bit more agile with it and start getting myself in gear. Are you
like that in life? Like you're always looking for the next thing?
To some degree, I'd say, yeah. Some things kind of come your way and you just grab it with both hands and you take the opportunity and take advantage of the opportunity presented in front of you.
Yeah.
So that's how I've kind of lived my life, in every aspect, when it even comes to training academically and everything else I do. Yeah, musically as well.
Oh, okay, yeah. So that's what we need to speak about.
Yeah,
for the most part, is the music, and so you're a radio DJ. How did music? What was your first how did music first manifest itself in your life? Like,
Well,
because right now you're doing a lot. You're managing the label.
yeah,
You're DJing radio. You're running events.
yeah.
So what was the first, like, you know what I mean?
Well, the
Where was it first
catalyst
started
was,
touching?
you could say, was my parents.
Okay.
That where it all stems from, the
Mhm.
olive tree. And yeah, my mum used to DJ on the radio. I remember listening to my mum back in the day. Yeah, my mum used to DJ.
What station was your mum?
She used to do city radio,
Uh-huh.
like way back in
What
the
music
early
and that?
90s. A bit of everything, a bit of reggae, a bit of soul.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, rare grooves. She
Yeah,
used to
yeah.
play, and she used to DJ as well out and stuff, like in Stoke Newington when we first moved around there. So yeah, a heavy influence on my uncles and my cousins, massively.
For your whole family, basically.
Yeah, literally, they just massive influence from 12, 13. I remember really getting into it a lot more from around that.
So
age.
was you DJing yourself from early?
From about 15, 16, I was into hip hop and scratching.
Because you must have like turntables and stuff at the yard and...
Yeah, I think my first pair of Techniques I got when I was like 18. I borrowed a friend's for a couple of years. They didn't leave my yard for a couple of years.
Okay.
Like, yeah, I'll give them back to you next weekend. I'll give them back to you next weekend because that were the days of borrowing.
Yeah.
So, but I had those for a couple of years, and then I managed to get a pair.
Yeah. And then so we were speaking just before the show.
Right.
We was talking about digging. And you mentioned that you were really into the hip hop vinyls back then.
Yeah, I used
So
to.
was that music that you first?
Yeah, I was
with?
heavily influenced. I remember like my cousins always taping on VHS's music videos and MTV.
Yeah.
So we used to go to the record shops and they used to bring back records. And then with my little pocket money, I used to say, "Oh, can you go and buy these records for me?" And then go and get them.
Okay.
So yeah, from an early age, I started digging really deeply, and I just had the influence of those guys. So by the time I was 16, 17, I had this memory of all these tracks that I had to backtrack and buy in the back catalogue. So I was going around all the record shops, north, south, east and west, just telling the guys in the shop, the track goes like this, and she says this in the track, and he says that in the track.
Okay,
because this was before internet and
okay.
everything.
So
you had to
didn't know the names of certain tracks, you're just hearing them, and then
unless the radio DJ told you,
you
just had to memorize it. But back then, the guys in the shops were really good at knowing what the tracks you were talking about, because that was the kind of thing you had to do.
Yeah, I heard that. I heard that. So now you're like very much involved in the house scene. Yeah. So when did that
transition happened?
Or was it even a transition really? Like, because are you still into the hip hop stuff?
Not as much. No, I wouldn't say I am. I go back and listen to some things via the streaming service because it's just a bit of nostalgic. But I'd say the transition, I was buying hip hop and I started buying house around 2000. The year 2000, 2001. And I was still buying hip hop, but the hip hop was starting to get a bit wishy-washy to some degree. And I was finding it hard to buy.
Wait, sorry,
stuff.
what time was that? What
around 2001.
Oh, okay, yeah. So hip hop was starting to get a bit wishy-washy.
Yeah, it's about For me personally, anyway.
Yeah, fair enough.
And from there on, from about 2001, I was going to the record shops, I was buying hip hop and I was buying house. But then it started to get a tad bit expensive, and I was like, right, I got to make a decision. Of where my heart's at the moment. And my heart was into the house, and I was starting to teach then. I was starting to teach aerobics and circuits. So you was really like steeped in the house music at the time. So that's it. So
what was it about the house music that was like particularly alluring to you?
It was the up tempo. It was using some of like you say, some of the old school soul and rare groove tracks and putting them on to an up tempo beat and listening to that. And I love vocals. So it was perfect for me. So teaching classes and also listening to up tempo music. My friend gave me a few CDs of his mixes one time, and he had like the Jill Scotts on there and things like that on the house mixes. So that I feel
like through the 90s that was a big thing, like sampling those rare groove and soul tracks for like garage and jungle and
100%.
Alright, so you started buying 2000 and
2002. Yeah, 2001, 2002.
You were like really into this house.
Yeah.
Your collective vitals. At this time, were you DJing or?
No, I wasn't DJing out, so I was still scratching. I was still scratching quite a bit back then. And then I used to listen to House FM around that time as well.
Okay.
Around 2002, 2003.
Yeah.
And I was still buying a lot of vinyl. Just listening to the other DJs, listening to the New York DJs.
I feel like I've read somewhere you started House 2004 House FM.
Yeah, that's right.
So and you weren't DJing prior to that?
No, I wasn't DJing then.
Oh, so
I got my break.
Yeah,
I got my break onto that station. I submitted a mix I done, vinyl mix. There's still vinyl mixing these days.
Yeah.
So I submitted an hour and a half vinyl mix to the station via a friend of mine, and that was it. Literally, they phoned me back and said, "We really like what you're doing, how you've mixed, the tunes you're playing," because it was a very soulful station at the time, you know. So the vocal tracks I selected, everything went down a storm, and that's when I got my first break on radio. Yeah. And then have you just been there since then? No, I haven't. I stayed there for maybe 5 years. For the first year, up until about 2008, 2009.
What, you was doing a weekly?
Yeah, I was doing weeklies.
Yeah, that's a shift, you know.
Listen, when I first was on there, I was doing the graveyard shifts. I was doing like the midnights. Midnights till 2. School night, I was working. I was studying at the same time as well. So yeah, you could say I was definitely involved. And
you was putting the work in.
Yeah.
How did you enjoy it at the time?
Yeah. I was like, you know, I was on this station. I was playing amongst DJs that were in the UK circuit that I was looking up to, and I still look up to them because some of them took me under the wing at the time. Definitely, I wouldn't be where I am to some degree, and I was going after certain DJs, and the chat room started to get a bit bubbly, and but I was like, right, even though I've got to go work the next morning, I still got to do this. This is part of my life. Yeah, that's
cool. So like, how long before House FM, like you submitting that mix, was that like an idea in your head that you wanted to be like, you're thinking, I want to be a DJ, or did the opportunity come and it was just like, this is something, you know what I mean? Was it just an off chance sort of thing? Yeah, it was just like present. I was going to particular parties and hearing certain DJs, and I remember being just through a collective of friends being introduced to the manager at the time on the station, and I said, "Yeah, look, I've got a mix. I want to present it to you. Have a listen to it. Write my phone number on there as you did back then." Yeah. And he got back to me. I was quite surprised. Okay. You know, he got back to me and said, "Yeah, we really like what you're doing." It must have been a good mix then, no? Yeah, I rate that mix to this day. But that's cool though. That's because you know what? I put the show out with the hope that people would listen and learn, you know, like just little bits from the lives of people that and one thing that always comes up is networking, jumping on opportunities as they come, you know what I mean? And that's correct. Sometimes it's not about knowing who you have to meet, but sometimes just being out there, the right person sometimes bumps into you. That's right. You know what I mean? Because as much as you're looking for them, sometimes they can be looking for you. That's right. You get me? And at the time they'd probably say that they were also looking for someone to take that opportunity. That's it. Get me? Yeah, there's always looking for new talent or new fresh blood, if you like, coming into the scene and seeing what they can. What else was you doing at that time? As in, so I just started 2003. I was doing my studies in pharmacy. So I was working. I was a physio assistant, and then I just transitioned into pharmacy. I became a pharmacy technician. I was studying to become a pharmacy technician. Okay. Then I was just doing that. Literally, I was just doing that. I was studying, and then so you was doing the radio gig at night, weekly. Yeah. And then so the label. How's this? Well, the label didn't start till much later. So between like from 2009 when I left the station, I carried on doing events, and that's when I first met my business partner, Matt Ellis. That's my partner in crime on Making Move Records, and we did a few parties together. So
he used to work for a label called Papa Records at the time.
Yeah.
And they used to put on events, and we used to do it in Islington at the Salmon and Compass. So I had good links by them, because where I'd been on the station for so long and had good friends in the States. I've DJ'd in the States a few times over the years. In the mid 2000s. So I had really good links, you know, and I used to get a lot of good promo music from a lot of the DJs that were doing it at the time, and producers like the US House, the US Soulful House scene. And we decided to put a few parties on together, because I had the contacts as much as he did, and we worked really well together. So from 2009, we did a few parties together, and they were really successful. And we said, right, we've got a good thing here. But I went on independently, which I did a lot of my time. I just kind of just went with the flow of whatever felt right.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
As in, so we did a few parties together between 2009 and 2011.
Yeah.
And then he went on to start a record label just after in 2009 called Tribe Records, along with another partner. And I carried on with another friend of mine. We did another podcast and running an event called offthemeters.com.
Okay.
My boy Dante, big up Dante, big up Aggie. Family man now. So we carried on doing our thing, staying in touch, doing music together. And then Matt transitioned, left Tribe Records and wanted to start something fresh, along with myself, and we started making moves in 2012.
Okay, so like very much you initially was it the thought to do vinyl releases, or was it digital releases you guys were focusing on? Yeah,
we wanted to do digital releases from the start, but everything costs. So we had a certain amount in the kitty at the time. Yeah. And we thought, well, right now, our best bet is to carry on doing digital releases until we could possibly get a good deal to put out some vinyl. Fortunately, I think 2014, we managed to get a couple of good distribution deals. Okay. You know, with some overseas distributors.
Yeah, I only asked because lately I've been like really into the jungle scene.
Yeah.
And speaking to like a lot of independent label owners, where before maybe I never really knew the ins and outs of like underground UK music sort of. I'm just very interested in the process, you know what I mean? Especially like with vinyl being like quite popular, I would say.
Yeah, at the
nowadays,
moment. Yeah.
Like, considering music is so accessible in so many other ways, but
that's
vinyl is still being like
still niche,
super popular. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you ever find that if you do an event, or have you ever pitched an event as being all vinyl, as in the DJs playing just vinyl?
No, not yet. But my friend does a party that I've DJ'd for a few times, a couple of times, and she does a open decks night. Yeah. In Dalston.
Oh, okay.
And that's really cool. Like,
do you ever find a difference in the crowd if they pitch it as like an all vinyl sort of?
It's different. I'd say, it is quite nichey. Well, I think so. I think it's some people who are really into vinyl and really pick up a lot of music via vinyl will go to those particular parties. But some people just aren't fussed. I'd say some people just aren't fussed. It's just like, as long as I'm hearing good music,
of course,
good music's good music.
Of course. I prefer going to vinyl events.
Yeah.
I went to one the other day, and it just blows my mind because it was like, it's jungle, innit? So it's from like 10 to like 7 in the morning, and for the whole time, not one clanger. So it just blew my mind that like the level of talent, you know what I mean? And it just like, I feel like add to the experience. But then at the same time, really good music. So but I just wanted to ask, just because I know
warm,
you're doing
though, when it's warm, like you feel the warmth of when you know someone's playing the music. They used to do this party,
and they take their time. You have to let the track, you have to air the tracks out a little bit. Like, people on CDJs, I feel like they're maybe a bit quick to get the next one on. You know what I mean?
You don't really especially if that's why you got 100 DJs playing, and you don't get time to hear a DJ properly unless you get a good 2 hours, 3 hours set to actually put you on a journey, if you like.
Exactly. Do you know what? I'm really rushing through this conversation. We're gonna go to some music right now.
Yeah, sure.
And then we're gonna come back after the break. Yes, people, you're listening to the A1 show. I'm your host, DJ A1 in the studio. With me today, big man like Jamesy D.
Yo.
So I'm rushing through the conversation.
It's okay,
because I want to get that good mix out of you.
Yeah. But
And
it's coming.
And there's a lot to cover because you do too much, man.
Oh.
It's your fault, if anything. You know what I mean? You need to slow down.
I'm trying.
Alright, so we've got the calisthenics and the training stuff, which is, I feel like, a very important part of what you do and how you live your life, how you look after yourself. And on top of that, you've got your pharmacy. You're still doing, and the label, and events are still happening. The events and so still the releases and having to speak with artists and distribution and that's a lot, man.
It's I must admit it's a lot to take on board, but in a funny way it still brings balance.
How's that?
So in respects to DJing and events and getting to fortunate enough to do gigs abroad and a lot of that good stuff, I'd say my 9 to 5 inverted commas pharmacy and being in that for the last 20 years keeps the stability and keeps my feet on the ground.
Okay.
So it always shows never take too much for granted. As much as things are going great, you never want to get too far ahead of yourself, and how it looks to everyone else is how it looks, but for me personally it's like, hey, this is what it is, let me embrace it, let me take it on as it comes, and let it take its course, if you like.
I get that.
Take its course.
I'm like very interested to know, like, you're not gonna outline like all the details of your workflow and your process, but how do you organize yourself? Like, do you have a diary? Like, how do you even just things that you need to do in a day? How do you get all your stuff done? Like, how do you organize? How do you go about organizing yourself?
I think in the last few years there has to be a lot more. There has to be a lot more balance. So can't train every night the same and still go to work 9 to 5, come home, make something to eat, then sit down at the laptop, then have conversation with artists. You just got to find time to make sure you allocate the time accordingly, properly, and utilize it properly. And I don't know, sometimes, and luckily I've got my business partner there. I can't forget my man Matt Ellis and my broski, because if it wasn't for him as well, there ain't no making without the moves. Literally.
I get that.
So fortunately for us, he's got that time in the day when I haven't, and sometimes I've got that time in the evening and the weekends, which I utilize properly to help. And when I've got a moment's peace at a break at work, then I might utilize it then to work on the label.
But if you're utilizing your breaks to do work, then when do you break?
I find the time, man. Find the time.
But what does that look like then? Because some people, like, so I've had some guests on that say that they'll go flat out until they can't go anymore, then they'll have to take a few months.
No,
I know some people that
consistent.
are like every night from 6 lock off everything. You know what I mean? So those are two extremes of.
It depends. Most evenings I would lock off maybe from about 10:30, 11, unless I've got to make a call abroad and the time difference. So, and then I get stuff done and a few emails, but you got to stay consistent. You can't just lock off. That's how things work. For me personally, it's like training, it's like going to work every day. The music as well, it's got to stay consistent.
Are you like, there's some people say little bits more consistently is better than doing like bigger mouthfuls but with bigger space in between, you know what I mean? Less consistent, I guess.
Less consistent.
So would you say that's more how you tend to work?
I tend to work a bit more like that. Just little
bits every.
So
how you organising yourself? So what, do you use a diary, or is it like you just know what you got to do?
It's all emails and it's all diaries, and I've got like I said, I've got my partner there, and he keeps me up to date with everything else. So, and we work really well together. It's quite fortunate how we do what we do to the degree where are we doing it. You know, after 8 years and still being so consistent. We were talking about this the other day. We were saying, how are we managing to do that? But our lives are changing, you know, families are getting involved, you know, and just balancing, and work life's changing in terms of responsibilities of work for myself, you know, so putting in a bit more graft there. For some reason it just works. It just works.
I mean, well, you've yourself mentioned the word balance like a few times. Yeah. So I mean, your
there's a day off in between it, you know, the day off of training, like train a couple of times a week in the evening. You don't want it to take up too much time, because then you don't have your evenings to yourself or to do any other social activity. Then you got to think, let me take a day off. Then I've got to do some label work and do that for the day and try and get everything in place, so you don't have to do too much of it. Once it's all in place, then it will take it will go on from there.
Like the ball will roll. Like, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
I get you.
Instead of having to chase up this, chase up that. Some things you do, some things you let lie a bit, and you're like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. Or you've got it written down, and then, you know, some things are out of your control. You know, you're waiting for a producer to come back with the final mixes. You're waiting for, you know, digital mixes to come back from other remixers. You know, these things take time. You know, not everyone works to the deadline and say, right, we need this because we want to release this track this particular month. It might not work that way. Then in between that, someone else submits a track to you and says, oh yeah, we would like to release this on your label. You throw that in between and things like that.
I was going to say, how does that process work, as in terms of finding artists with songs that they're releasing?
Well, down to experience. Fortunately, for like I say, spanning over the last 10-15 years, we've been fortunately enough to be in a position where people come to us and say, we'd like to go on your label. We think our music is tailored to your label. And that's really, you know, we feel really privileged to be in a position like that. You know, people think, what you guys are doing, the way you produce your music and how you outlet it to people, how we do our events, how we DJ, and what people hear you play, and think, you know what, I like what they're playing, I want to put my music on their label. They seem to know what they're doing. And that's really a nice position for us to be in. So it's like you say, we hear a lot of music, we hear people submitting their music, putting it online. They might put up snippets on the SoundCloud or whatever streaming service, and they'll be like, always keeping my ear to the ground, trying to listen. You know what? Let's see what if they would like to join our label and put that track on our label.
So is it through all of that other stuff that you need to do for your day? It's like, does it get difficult to like find time to listen to music and then stay current?
Yeah. Nowadays, before it used to be everything. Listening to music was everything. Like there was a segment of time where I weren't listening to music in there, but now things change. You want to have a bit of a social life. You want to do other things with friends and whatever, because that's what happens in life. You know, but you still got to find time somewhere. I wish I could do it as a full-time job sometimes.
What's that?
Like just do music,
the label stuff.
But then sometimes I don't.
Why is that?
I don't know, because just because of balance, and just because of the way I've grown up, because I've grown up partly academically as well, and I've enjoyed that engagement in life with going to work and doing things with my friends who don't listen to music. And half of my friends nowadays, they won't go out, or they won't. Do you see what I mean? They'll come to particular events, and that's life.
Do you go out to events that are not your own?
Sometimes. I do. I do. I go to show my face and see what's happening, but I don't stay that long. Reason being, because I train a lot at the same time, so I'm always thinking, right, I've got to be up in the morning. I've got a circle of friends who like going training, as you know, and training. I can't be out partying and
missing
doing that if I'm going to try and balance and try and get some consistency and some progression in training as well. Everything needs a bit of balance to progress.
Well, I mean, as you said, like you're doing little bits of work every day, staying consistent. So when it comes to taking a break, you don't need to take a large chunk. You can just take little bits and then be consistent with breaks in the same way, you know what I mean? As you are with your work. And I think that's a good way to be. You've obviously got it clocked. Like,
I think so. I know.
Was there ever a time when you were really struggling with this stuff? like just balancing everything. Well, I mean,
there's moments. Definitely.
Struggle, but
but somehow, some way, and if there's a will, there's a way. You'll find one.
I get you. Well, I mean, man, your head seems to be like very much in the right place with it.
Yeah, even talking about it sometimes when you're asking me these questions now, some people are like, how do you manage to do that and stay progressive in your training? Because you got to be doing it consistently to get to that level what you're doing it in terms of the music and running a label. That consistency of putting out music all the time, how do you always keep up with that? But like I say, you've got your business partner for that, and discipline, because like you say, you have to go to work every day. There's a discipline, there's a consistency, and if you apply that to most things, then I guess everything else will follow. Nah, I get that. And this is why I wanted to have you on, to be honest, because you're the perfect person for this show and the listeners that, you know what I mean, looking to learn something from someone so ambitious. Last 10 minutes of the conversation now. I want to know like about what's happening with the label now, like your most recent stuff that's come out, stuff that you're looking to announce, or so Making Moves has been running 8 years, and we've been fortunately been able to release 115 releases so far.
Swear down, that is ridiculous.
Swear up even.
That's crazy. That's a lot.
We've, like I said, I was talking to Matt about it the other day, and we've got to 115 releases, man. It's crazy. Within that, we've done 7 vinyl releases. We've got another one forthcoming in a few weeks, which we're really happy about. A really big artist. Tracks with some really good artists, including Omar. Got tracks with Omar on the label, UK Omar.
Omar's quite connected with iLive.
You
should talk to
yeah.
That's cool.
Definitely, 100%. We did a track with him called Ding Ding maybe 3 years ago. And we're just in a position now where we're just trying to stay consistent and putting out good quality soulful house music. Where it's taken us at the moment, like I say, it's partly our passion, partly just what we like to do. Fortunately, it's not our full-time job, so we don't have to rely on sales and what most people would have to do. Excuse me, making that big hit or but we're just happy that.
So what's the motive for putting the music out then? Is it?
It's just a way of
money,
life.
Or is it?
It's just a way of life.
Just like putting.
And we just enjoy the music that we enjoy to play. So the music that we've been enjoying to play all these years, it's been a privilege to be able to put it out. And even for me, working with the artists that when I used to go to Southport Weekenders back in the early 2000s, mid 2000s, and going to these events and hearing these artists, these vocalists sing, and hearing their music and buying it in their record shops. There's a lot of these artists that I've actually worked with now and got them on our label.
So it's like you've made your contribution to that. That scene.
In a big way. Cool. And that's it. Speaking to some of these guys and ladies on the phone, it's just like, oh my gosh, I'm actually having these conversations about putting out music on our label with these people. And they're happy to do that, and no one's above their station, no one's thinking they're a bit higher than, good music's good music and it needs to be heard.
For sure. Have you got anything coming out?
We just
anything you can speak about? I mean,
we've been putting out a lot of stuff this year. We've been quite consistent. We try to put out 2 releases a month almost, but definitely a release a month at the moment, just trying to stay consistent within our genre of music and keep our punters happy, if you like.
Where does the music go? Like your digital releases, where do they?
The digital releases we release from a main hub called Tracksource. I don't know if I can say it. Tracksource Music, which is like a main hub for like house music, soulful house, deep house, and all, etc. And then other
people find the music on
Tracksource, iTunes, Spotify, Beatport. So we tend to release there first, to the main heads for the first couple of weeks. We'll be starting our Bandcamp page in 3 weeks with our vinyl releases.
Oh, okay.
So we just got that together because we've had to do this back catalogue of putting all these music up ourselves.
What are you gonna do? Represses of old stuff?
No.
Oh, no.
Because that would be very expensive.
Oh, see, no, fair enough.
Yeah, it's good that you vinyl, but you just got to think. Right, if I put out 500 releases, this is the reality for us and for me. Is like if we put out 500 releases, we need to make sure that that's what the people want at the same time. If it doesn't sell, then we could do it out of passion, but at the same time, we've got to keep the kitty churning. Yeah, of course. And we want to keep putting out music for everyone. So it's you're helping us to help you, put out this music. So we've got to be smart with our releases and what we put out on vinyl, to be fair. I guess that's, back in the day when vinyl was, fluid, you could put out a lot of stuff and it'd more than likely go. Yeah, I mean, that's the only way people have to. But now, you still have to be, there's people that will buy stuff, but they're going to buy particular stuff. And record distributors don't want to be sitting there with a couple hundred or a couple thousand copies of a track that's not selling. At the end of the day, that's no good to no one. Not to say the music's rubbish, it could be great to a lot of people. But it's not the time, I guess. It's just not that era. Even though vinyl's quite, I guess, more popular now than it has been maybe the last 10 years, but still, like, it's music. Everyone's got all music on their phone, innit? So that's it, exactly. It's like easy accessible. So it's like, I could buy it, but it's got to be really good for me to want to go and buy it on vinyl, unless I'm just a vinyl head. So we're selecting a lot of stuff at the moment that we really want to put out, which is quality stuff as far as I'm concerned, because everything, as far as I'm concerned, is quality. So just before we finish up here and the adverts, where can people find, like, I want your socials, like all the information about your label, like whatever you want to plug, like. Making moves. We've got our own website where we plug our events. We're currently doing our events down at the Curtain Hotel in Shoreditch, the LP. Myself and Matt LS. Our next one is on the 20th of March with our boy Frankie J Plague. Big up my man, the Redhead House Dread, Frankie J, and hosted by Clara from Just a Boo. You can find us at allthews.making-moves.co.uk, which lets you know what we're up to, what music we're putting out, what events we're co-hosting and putting on, all our releases. We're on Instagram, Jamesy_making moves, Matt LS _making moves. You can find us there. Facebook, Making Moves UK. That's where you can find us at the moment. So if you're into your soulful house and you enjoy soulful house, you can catch us spinning there. You can catch us at 51st State Festival this year. That's it. There's quite a few. And if anyone needs help with supervillains, what number do they call? You just hit up the Insta, Jamesy_making moves. You want to learn a thing or two, you can hit me up there. Brother, thanks for coming through. Thank you for having me, man. I really like what you're doing here, brother. Honestly, great contribution, man. Cheers, thanks, man. And I've seen you grow. Basically, from the word get-go, when you say, right, you know what, Jamesy, I'm going to get a pair of decks, I'm going to really start getting involved with my music a lot more. Man, look where it's at now. Little bits, innit? Little bits, slowly. Takes time, but that's right. You get me? You put, if you're out, you know what it is? It's just, I've realised being out there, just, you don't know who you're looking for, but they're there, and you just need to bump into them. You're not going to do it if you're sitting at home. That's it. Show yourself you can. Exactly. So, but brother. Yes, my man. A lot of you've always been someone I looked up to. You know what I mean? So, because you've done so much, you get me, and you do so much, and you look after yourself very well at the same time, which a lot of people in music just don't get themselves. You know what I mean? So, I've been excited for this conversation for a long time. You get me? Yeah, man. Thanks. It's been a minute, but I'm glad to blessings, be a part of this. Each and every time, man. Each and every time. But people, that was the A1 show with a very special guest, a good friend of mine, Jamesy D. As I said, man, a guy that I've looked up to for a long time. Met him at the gym. From then I knew he was a serious brer, because he was jumping over treadmills and backflipping
with the bar and all of that. So yeah, definitely hit him up. Definitely have a look into his music and find out about his next releases.